Hey guys, let's stop it right there. This scene plays out all over SHEILD lakes. I don't care who you are, what you do. When you're up here and the conditions are tough, you're going to grind and grind and grind, and then suddenly you're going to get a chance. Something's changing. The wind changes, the weather changes, or in our case, we had moon overhead major showing up and things were about to happen. Greg missed this fish, but it was a sign of something changing for us. And when you have a day that it's a complete grind, you have to be on the water at key times. Thankfully, on this day we were. And I'm going to show you guys towards the end of this video why the fish were here and why this bite window opened up for us. Let's go have a look. Right there, guys, that's a big tiger on the red October tube. Brand new this morning. I'm gonna hand the camera off. Today I'm fishing with my buddies Greg and Marty. I know you're gonna say it's been a grind, it's been stupid. So earlier today, Greg had one on. I kind of shanked the net job. That's okay, that crap happens. Marty had one on and off briefly, and we've been pounding pretty hard. We haven't really been seeing much the last little while, but we are just on our major. We got a big wind push, and Greg just had one up. It wasn't this one because it wasn't a tiger. I cast out. We're just kind of coming into the meat and potatoes of this spot. Hooked into a nice tiger, so I'll hand the camera off to Greg. I'll get it out, and we'll have a quick look at it. So just keep...
Glenn, tell them what you said when you made that cast. Do you remember?
What did I say?
Something along the lines of, "Come on, you stupid muskies."
Yeah, pretty much. It's been tough, and when you're fishing with friends, you feel obligated to try and get something going. When Dave and I are fishing, we honestly don't care if we catch or we don't. We just enjoy company. It's nice having these guys in the boat. But at the same time, we're muskie fishing, and what do you do when you muskie fish? You want to catch a muskie. So because we're on our major, you want to be on good spots. And I'll just tell a quick story here. We just went by some kids in a camp boat. They're clearly, that's good.
Okay.
If you just touch it, it'll come back on.
Okay, sorry.
We just went by some kids in a camp boat who are clearly walleye fishing, tried to be nice about it, and ask if we could just cast some baits past them, not close to them, just to hit a point. They didn't like that, so we carried on, and I just told the guys, I said, now'd be a good time to catch a nice fish. We got a nice fish. Let's have a look at this thing. So unfortunately, I couldn't use the net buddy because the fish got caught on the outside of the net, so we had to quickly flip the net over. There you go, beautiful tiger muskie. Not long, tiger muskies usually aren't, but just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fish. So we'll get this one back. We're right on our major and we want to be fishing. Ready, girl? There you go. All right, guys, let's get back at it.
Get to it.
Hopefully we got some more action to come. Well, that's the mood up. I honestly thought yours was going to go when it turned and come back around towards us. We'll get him.
He hit fairly far out from the boat.
Yep. Mine? Yeah, a couple cranks in. I can thank Greg for that because he told me to put on white. I just rigged this one the other day. Brand new.
The lure you on your cover, you built assemble them yourself, you mean? Or?
I built the rig myself, so the way these come, you get a front hook and then just basically a trailer hook and then the hook in the top. I add a second hook inside here.
Oh, okay.
So this one's pretty much trashed already, but we'll take that. I texted Mark Arenas there about a week and a half ago. I'm like, we're already up to about 20 fish on the tubes this year. He's like, I'll send you some more reserve ammunition, he says. So he's sending some to the wife's shop and he's going to send us a bunch. Bringing them this way? Yeah. Okay. I don't know where you're going here.
Try and get them up where you can let them.
All right, guys, I literally just put that last fish back. Couple casts, spun the boat around. We got it on. Little Dadson, 8 Dadson and Crown Royal. I mean, how can you not love some Crown Royal? It's about a 36, 37, but what do you feel, Greg? That feels pretty good, eh? Finally got one. All right.
You said they're going to be by these rocks.
They're going to be by the rocks. Yeah, I just said, like, this is the meat and potatoes of the spot. That's 3 fish in, like, literally 5 minutes. So we're not going to waste a whole bunch of time with this. I'm going to let Greg grab this one. We'll get a quick pick, and we're just going to keep slinging baits because that's what you got to do. All right, here we go. Nice little Canadian skeet. Not going to break the farm on this one, but nothing wrong with a fish like that. Right on. We're gonna get this one back and let's get after some more because, like, it's prime time. There it goes.
Wiggled right away.
All right, fist pump on that one. Good job, Greg.
Thank you, Glenn.
Hey guys, welcome back. Really cool spot to break down, and it was really cool that we got into that awesome bite window right at Moon Overhead Major. And it was really tough that day. We had dropped a fish, we had moved a few fish, and then all of a sudden it seemed like it really shut down as the wind kind of picked up on us. But we were able to get to a spot where we could get slightly out of the wind, and you'll see we had northwest wind kind of pushing across this point from kind of rolling around it, and then we have lake current that's pushing into it, and I had the boat positioned out here somewhere around 24 feet, 25 feet of water, and we're casting up. And this kind of shoreline is something that you see a lot on Shield lakes. And I was telling the guys that you get this narrow shelf against shore that might be only 10 feet from shore out to that first major break line. And here we got really rocky shore that's probably about 3 feet deep, and that first break line is around 6 feet. That's really key. I'm telling the guys, don't worry about casting right to shore. That's not really where we want to go, and that's a mistake I see a lot of guys do. They sit the boat in tight so they can cast right to shore. Not going to say you're not going to get a fish up super shallow, but we want to hit those fish that are sitting on that break line. The way we are targeting it is Greg was casting out the front, trying to hit that break line. I'm casting a tube. I'm trying to get just over the edge so that when I let my tube roll down, I can roll it off that face. Marty's at the back, and he's trying to hit just off of that break line, kind of cleaning up anything that we may have moved. And when I break it down on the next sheet here, looking at it kind of in a 2D, so we had the boat sitting out somewhere around here over this 24-foot area. And guys like Herbeck, they always talk about edges. Where this hits the bottom, that's an edge. This break line right here, that's an edge. And then, you know, there might be some smaller ones in there, but the keys for us are hitting this first break line. And I'm casting right in here, and I'm trying to roll my tube kind of down like that and up. And that fish hits a couple pumps in. I think that fish is sitting right in that 6-foot area. Couple casts later, after we get that one in, Greg casts up. That fish comes from a very similar area. And again, going back to where that lake current's pushing, that lake current is pushing into a wall like this, and that's just going to stir that water up along there. You add in that wind, and you just have a really good, like I say in the video, it's the meat and potatoes spot here. These are the kind of spots that Dave and I and others look for on SHEILD lakes. And I know if you guys can find spots like this, you are going to put more fish in the boat, guaranteed. One quick thing I just want to mention, I get asked a lot this summer what we're using for tubes. I'm using a 10-inch monster tube. I rig it with an extra hook in there, and we're going to do a standalone video on the tubes because we've been using them so much this year. So I'll talk a little bit about how I rig them on that video, but just a standard 10-inch tube, and I add an extra hook in there. Nothing too crazy. A lot of guys do that. Works really well for us. I like the hookup percentage. You lose a few if they don't, you know, clamp down or you don't get a solid hook set, but tubes are super versatile. And we kind of shanked the net job because it kind of jumped and hit the outside of the net. Quick thinking, I was able to roll that net over and get it in. That's us having experience doing that and not really panicking in that situation. And one extra thing that doesn't show up on the video is my rod actually gets knocked into the water because I couldn't use my net buddy because I rolled the net over. And after all the commotion, I'm like looking, I'm like, where's my rod? And it's floating about 10 feet behind the boat. Thankfully, the Chaos Moab with my Okuma on it floated. I was able to just pull it back because it was still attached. So that's, you know, a little bit of a comedy of errors on our behalf, but those things happen, and that's all part of what makes musky fishing just so exciting. Okay guys, we finished with the two. Unfortunately today, Greg and I each lost another one or two. Marty had one right at the end, but he was paying attention to somebody's underwear up on the clothesline in the background, so he wasn't paying attention. That's a true story. Good day, fellas?
Oh yeah. Great day. Great guys.
Yeah, we had a really good time out here. It was fun fishing with you guys, fun showing you one of my favorite lakes. We had a net fiasco. We had a rod dropped in the water. We're hoping that's on camera and you guys have seen it. But really for that, for another video where Dave and I have a complete netting disaster, check out the link over here. And for me, Marty and Greg, 54 buses out of here. We'll catch you guys out on the water later.